Forming an LLC is the biggest mistake, killing your momentum before you even start. You've been told by old school law firms that you need to be a real business. In this video, I'm going to share the 4 clear reasons you shouldn't form an LLC. I'll also share the 1 psychological reason you should form one today, even if you have $0 in revenue. Hey, my name is Arjun, founder and CEO of doola.com, a venture-backed tech startup backed by Y Combinator here in New York City that's raised over $13 million and formed over 15,000 LLCs for founders in over 175 countries. Okay, reason number 1 is the most practical, and it's the trap I see the most founders fall into. You have $0 in revenue. An LLC, also known as a limited liability company, is a legal shield. Its entire job is to protect your personal assets, like your house, your car, or your personal savings, from your business debts. But let's be honest, what business debts? To have business debts, you need to have a business. You need customers, you need invoices, you need a product. So when you're in the idea phase and you don't have any of that, you just have an idea. And idea insurance isn't really a thing. But if you have no revenue, you have no customers. If you have no customers, you have no business debts and no one to sue you. Think about it. You are buying an expensive, complicated shield for a game you are not even playing yet. You're paying state filing fees, you're signing up for annual reports, you're committing to hiring a registered agent, all for a shield that is protecting nothing. Your first and only goal right now is to get in the game. Second, even if you're making a little money, say your first few hundred or even $1,000, you still might not need one. This is because you're not in a high-risk business. When lawyers talk about risk, they mean liability. Think about businesses that have real, physical world risk. A trucking company where a driver could crash. A restaurant where someone could get food poisoning. A construction company where something could fall. Those are high-risk businesses. If you're a freelancer, a coach, a blogger, or you're selling digital products, what's your biggest risk? It's not that your blog post is going to physically harm someone. The biggest risk is that you don't deliver the work you promised, or the client just doesn't like it. An LLC does not protect you from that. It doesn't protect you from doing bad work. That's just a breach of contract issue or a customer service problem. A clear client contract, good communication, and just doing excellent work is far more important at this stage, and this often offers more real-world protection than any state filing. The third reason is a hard truth, but it's a very important one, so obviously we're going to share it. As I said, the entire point of an LLC is to protect your personal assets. So the hard question is, do you have significant personal assets to protect? If you're a student in a dorm room, if you're just starting your career and have $500 in the bank, if you don't own a house or have a massive investment account, then you are what the legal world calls judgment proof. Judgment proof literally means that even if someone did sue you and won, there's nothing for them to take. A lawsuit costs a lot of money to file. No lawyer is going to take on an expensive case to win a judgment against someone who has no assets. You are buying an expensive solution for a problem you simply do not have yet. Save your money, focus on making money, build up some assets worth protecting. And this 4th reason is the one that old school firms never talk about, because it's not about the law, it's about focus. The single biggest mistake I see founders make, and we've worked with over 15,000 founders in over 175 countries at Doola, is prioritizing admin over customers. You are spending weeks stressing about what state to file in, what a registered agent is, how to get an EIN, what an operating agreement needs to say, when you should be spending that exact same time talking to 20 potential customers, building your landing page, making your first sale, or getting feedback on your product. That old school lawyer was right about one thing. You don't need an LLC, you need a business. A business is not a piece of paper from a state. A business is a system that gets customers and solves their problems. Your only job right now is to build that system. The legal paperwork is just a container for after it's built. So, when is the right time? Truly, the practical trigger is when you're consistently making revenue. So a lot of people might say $1,000 a month is a great milestone, or when you're about to take on a partner, an employee, or an investor. That's when it becomes real. And when that day comes, you don't want to call a slow, expensive lawyer who still uses a fax machine and charges you $2,000 just to file a simple form. You are a modern tech-enabled founder. You need a modern partner. At Doola, we are the AI business in a box. We are a tech platform that founders love. You go to our dashboard and we can get you formed, get your US bank account, and help you manage all your state compliance and tax filings from one simple, clean interface. We built this company backed by YC at a total of $13 million specifically for founders just like you. I got a link in the description for when you're ready. No rush. Again, typically when you're consistently making revenue is the best time, but even when you've made your first revenue, if you think it's going to be consistent after, we're here to help. But now, for that 1 psychological reason I promised you, what if you have 0 revenue, you're low risk, and you're judgment proof, but you're still thinking about it. This is the exception to every rule I just gave you. Sometimes you're not stuck on admin. You are just scared to commit. You're treating your dream like a side project or a hobby, and you know it. If you really look deep inside, you know it. You tell your friends and family, oh, I'm just dabbling, because you're afraid of what happens if you go all in and fail. That hobby mindset is holding you back. If spending the money, signing the paper, and getting that official email from the Secretary of State is the one thing that will make you mentally flip the switch, the one thing that will force you to finally take this seriously, the one thing that will make you wake up and say, I'm not a wannabe, I'm a founder, then do it. Doola it. Doola it today. Because that psychological commitment, that shift in your identity, is more valuable than any filing fee. It's priceless. So we've covered the 4 practical reasons to wait on your LLC and the one big psychological reason to do it anyway. But what happens after you file? What if you formed your LLC for that mental commitment, but you still have 0 income at the end of the year? How do you handle taxes? Do you even have to file? Yes, you do. And in this next video, I break down exactly how to file your taxes for an LLC with 0 income, step by step, so you can stay 100% compliant. Click the video on the screen, and I'll see you there.